In this video, we will introduce dynamic loading of stub classes within the Java programming language. One of the most significant capabilities of Java is the ability to dynamically download Java software from any Uniform Resource Locator, or URL, to a virtual machine, or a VM, running in a separate process, usually on a different physical system. The result is that a remote system can run a program, for example an applet, which has never been installed on its disk. For example, a VM or virtual machine running from within a web browser can download the bytecodes from subclasses of java.applet.applet and any other classes needed by the applet. The system on which the browser is running has most likely never run this applet before nor installed it on its disk. Once all the necessary classes have been downloaded from the server, the browser can start the execution of the applet program using the local resources of the system on which the client browser is running. Java RMI takes the advantage of this capability to download and execute classes and on systems where those classes have never been installed on disk. Using the Java RMI API, any VM, not only those in browsers, can download any Java class file including specialized Java RMI stub classes, which enable the execution of method calls on a remote server using the server system's resources. The notion of a code base originates from the use of class loaders in the Java programming language. When a Java program uses a class loader, that class loader needs to know the locations from which it should be allowed to load classes. Using Java RMI applications, we can create remote objects here on a remote machine that accept method calls from clients in other VMs. So this would be a local machine or a client with its own VM making a call to our remote machine. In order for the client to call methods on a remote object, the client must have a way to communicate with remote object. Rather than having to program the client to speak the remote object's protocol, Java RMI uses special classes called stubs, here and here, that can be downloaded to the client that are used to communicate with or make method calls on the remote object. The java.rmi.server.codebase property value represents one or more URL locations from which these stubs and any classes needed by the stubs can be downloaded. So here, our RMI client downloads the stub in order to make the call to the RMI server. That's how we're dynamically loading stub classes. The registry has the address or the location so it can be looked up. When the RMI server starts, it binds that object to the registry. All of this complex functionality is provided to you by the compiler and JVM. This concludes our discussion of dynamic loading of stub classes in Java.